Today we are driving to the city of Auburn, California. I'm going to meet someone who reached out to me who's new to the area and was asking about dune buggy events and looking for friends with dune buggies. And he happens to be building a Myers-Manx remastered dune buggy. The one he has is, I don't know the exact color, but it's really blue, like a Smurf blue. Really cool color. He just asked if I wanted to come check it out, so I'm gonna go check it out. This is Ron. Say hi, Ron.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Besides dune buggies, can you tell me a little bit about your background?
The last 30 years I've been restoring vintage two-stroke motorcycles. Really into the old two-stroke thing. I've done over 24 Kawasaki triple two-strokes, mostly H2s. I've owned 3 72s and I think I'm up to 53 motorcycles I've had over my lifetime, as many as none at a time. It became a obsession, and a couple of years ago I said, I'm really burned out of doing bikes and for customers, not just for myself, and I needed something different. Somehow I got the bug for building a dune buggy, and we lived near Big Bear Lake in Southern California, and every July I would see all these cool old dune buggies drive up and down the highway. And I did some research and found out that Bruce had sold to a company in Costa Mesa, take over, started joining some forums, doing research, joined the Samba, the Myers-Manx Club, and decided, I think this would be something good for me. And I really didn't have that much experience with Volkswagens. I had worked at a vintage Porsche restoration shop for a couple years, and so I knew 356s and the motors were basically the same, but other than that, really didn't know anything about them. So last fall I pulled the trigger and ordered a kit. It's called the Remastered kit. It seems like really nice quality. They changed a few, and they've done some different things to make the body more consistent. It's got a really nice dash frame now, where the dash bolts to the frame, the hood bolts to the frame, so you can separate the dash. Makes it really nice and easy so you can spend your time doing wiring. You're not just on your back. And it seems like nice quality. Everything seems to fit. One of the other features they added is they have a trunk now. So I just finished installing this, so it's lockable. It's got a tub. The tub comes out so you can access your transmission, your starter. Good place for your battery, good place to store stuff, because on the original Max 1s, there's really no place to put anything. And, it's going to be really handy to be able to put, like for taking off for a day, to put, lunch and water, plus your title and your registration in a place where you can actually secure it. I'm really happy with the kit. I really didn't want to use an old PN that would take a lot of work, even though I'm a body technician by trade for over 40 years. I wanted something going to make the body really solid. I'm gearing this build toward off-road. I'll probably end up putting a full cage in it. This chassis, it's called a Max chassis by David Barrett in Arizona, and it seems to be really nicely constructed, very rugged. It's set up for the IRS rear suspension, and you can get it with the front beam for either link pin or ball joint. So I've got the ball joint front end, I got a full adjustable beam. It's got MP disc brakes all around, new shocks, everything on the buggy is basically new. 1600 dual port. I put the Max Sidewinder exhaust on it, which it's ceramic coated, really nice quality. Of course, it's got the alternator. I used Rebel Wiring, their American company, and their harness was highly recommended from Myers-Manx. All the wires are marked. It made it really easy. I ordered the royal blue metallic, and I paid extra for the extra clear coat.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, in the sun, it really pops. Got a lot of parts from MP, GPS speedometer with built-in tach and a separate gauge. It's got the oil pressure, temp, fuel, and voltmeter, MP shifter with the reverse lockout. And if I find that I really like the off-road stuff, I'll definitely put a full cage in it. Initially, I've got the stainless steel Myers-Manx roll bar. It's beautiful roll bar. I put the white bikini canvas top is the plan to put on that. I would like to get the fiberglass top too, but I don't think anybody they know of is making that matches the original Myers Max top. But it took about 3 months to get the body. You put 50% down, and then when it's finished, you put the other 50% down. Had it shipped to me. I got it February, and I've been working on it since February, and it'll probably get about another month, and then it'll be finished. Got American Racing wheels, BF Goodrich's KO2 tires that goes with the off-road theme. So it should be a super fun buggy. And like I said, I needed something different. I'm in my mid-60s now, and this is going to be a little safer than riding motorcycles on the street anymore.
What specifically, as far as the build goes, can you point out anything? Let's say I was buying a new body. Any big things that, to look out for, or pitfalls that you've experienced?
As far as the information on these new remastered kits, Paul at Myers Max has been really helpful when I've had specific questions as far as like the trunk install. I was wondering what these panels were, and he said they had designed them so if you wanted, you could put the fuse box to here, which would be a good idea, but I prefer it on the bulkhead, so it's much easier to access a fuse than have it being way up here. Mm-hmm. They have these holes drilled that go through the enclosed tubes underneath here, so you could run all your wire through here for the back, but since I've got this Max chassis, it was much easier for me. All my harness is in this bundle here, and what I like about the Max chassis, it's so easy to access everything, where if it's in a normal VW pan, you've got the little inspection panel for your shift linkage, but just to change a bushing or like the fuel liner stuff. So I'm really happy with the way the Max chassis allows. It makes it for a much easier build, and it's going to be really rugged because it's all steel tube construction. And working in the automotive industry, I could tell it's a really, really nice chassis. It should be pretty solid off-road. It's not going to flex like a 56-year-old pan. Yeah. I've seen a lot of guys where they'll take a 2 or 3 inch square tubing to mount on top of the pan to raise the body up to make it better for off-road, and I could see that would really enhance the strength of a VW pan.
What, as far as events go, what do you plan on attending?
I'll probably go to the Big Bear event. I don't know if I'll make it this year, but definitely next year. Next spring, there's going to be an event at Clear Lake, which is a couple hours from here. I think you just went to Pismo Beach.
Yep.
In March. I'll probably try to make that one. There's an event coming up in early May. It's in Nevada, 20 miles out of Tahoe. I'll probably go to that, but I don't think my buggy's going to be ready, but I'll probably go to that. From what I've heard, it's a really good community, the Myers Max Club community, whether you own a Myers Max or not, that they're good people. So I'm looking forward to making new friends, because we just moved here in August, and it seems like something that my wife and I are really going to enjoy.
Right.
And there's a lot of places around here for off-roading and dirt roads, and there's so many lakes in here. I think this is going to be perfect vehicle to enjoy that. So I'm really, really glad that I decided to build a dune buggy. They look really cool. They're pretty small, especially for somebody that's my height. I've set it up for me, and the seat is adjustable so my wife can drive it too.
Any parting words or words of wisdom or advice to any potential dune buggy builders out there?
Do your research first. If you're going to go with the stock Volkswagen pan, which is easy, just make sure you get a good pan that is straight, and you're probably going to have to change the floor pans, but that's really easy. And that's part of the fun, is learning new skills. If you're not a body man, it's not hard to learn how to make weld. You need to be good with a tape measure. So make sure you cut in the right place, and I think it's 14 1/4 inches you got to take out of the standard pan. For Max 1 they make the Maxter 2, which is a normal length pan. Max chassis, he does make a chassis for the full length Maxter 2. I would join some forums, join the Max Club, and just do research before you decide to jump in and buy, because it's not cheap if you're building one like this where everything is new. Another option is just to buy an old one and restore it, and as the first one that would probably be easier if you're willing to learn the skills, because it could get real expensive if you're going to pay somebody to restore everything for yourself. But that's part of the fun, is learning new stuff, and then the satisfaction when you get it done is I did the whole thing.
Right. I built this whole thing.
Yeah.
I look forward to the next event. Thanks for having me out, and thanks for showing me the car, and I've learned a lot. I was telling Ron that I've been to a few events and I've seen really well-built cars, but this is probably really the best built car I've seen. Just everything is new, and the way you're going about it, it's so methodical, and you're thinking of, longevity and repairs and really thinking it out before, doing stuff, just where you put your fuse box, just every little thing, every detail. I don't know. I think when you're done, it's going to be, like I said, the best build I've ever seen. So I'm excited to see you finish it, and I can't wait to see you at a show. I just want to thank you for inviting me and showing me this build, because it's definitely inspiring. And I didn't appreciate the color on the picture that you sent me. I am all about the metal flake, and it's just so bright. And I know it's not even in the sun, and it's super bright. I just think that Myers-Manx has done a really good job in bringing back the vibe and the feel of these cars through these colors. I can't wait to see this done. So thanks again for having me. I really appreciate it. I just want to thank Ron and his wife again for having me up to Auburn. It's a beautiful town, beautiful area, historical, steeped in history. It's where the gold rush took place. I just want to thank them for their hospitality, and thank Ron for showing me his build. As far as the Myers-Manx Remastered build, it's one of the best I've seen. I didn't know about those chassis. I've looked into that a little bit just to see what that company's about, and I'll leave a link in the description to check out if you're interested in buying a chassis. I was very impressed. Depending on your budget, it is definitely an option. If you're really going to go off-road, I would lean that way. I think you're just going to come out with a better performing off-road vehicle that's engineered for off-roading. Not to say you can't use a Volkswagen Pan to go off-road. It could definitely be done, but just the amount of adjustability and modern engineering for off-roading, when the original Volkswagen was 1930s engineering to get people on the road. Very different different parameters for the design and the engineering behind it. So thanks again, Ron, for having me. I have to comment on the quality of the materials that Myers-Manx provides. It was beautiful. The paint, the flake, the clear coat. I couldn't find any flaws myself. Ron, being a body and paint guy, he was impressed. He's worked for Ferrari for years and years. He's painted all kinds of cars. And so the fit and finish, I think from the pictures I've seen, I was already sold as far as this is a quality product, but seeing it firsthand, and hopefully it translates in the video, it really is a really well finished product. I don't see where you could improve upon it. It's exactly what it's supposed to be. They didn't skimp on anything. The price recently went up, like it has with everything, making it that much further out of my reach. But, you never know in time. You never know what's going to happen. I'm really happy for Ron. I see momentum kind of picking up steam as far as dune buggies go. I'm looking online every now and then for used dune buggies just for fun, to send to friends and to send to my friend Alan, who I bought his dune buggy from, because every now and then he talks about getting another one. If you bought an older dune buggy, I think it would be an easy upgrade to then just buy a Myers-Manx remastered body and have like a really cool looking car. Between Myers-Manx, Impy, there's enough parts out there to really put together a car, a really unique, really fun car for not a lot of money, compared to a classic American or European car, or Japanese car for that matter. Those are kind of skyrocketing on price. The other thing I want to mention that I found interesting is that Ron is a motorcycle guy, like a real motorcycle guy, like really fully ingrained and entrenched in mostly vintage Japanese motorcycles. I find two-strokes very interesting, and if you know anything about motorcycles, how kind of crazy like MotoGP and motorcycle racing when they raced two-strokes was. But I find it interesting that a motorcycle lover has steered into dune buggies. I've been into motorcycles for a long time. I've gotten out of motorcycles recently. Partly it kind of felt like Ron was on the same path of not wanting to ride on the street anymore and seeing enough tragedies or hearing about enough tragedies to where motorcycles are so much fun, but so is life. And so is dune buggies. So it's a good middle ground. I'm in my mid-40s, and I think I'm done riding motorcycles. And I've said that before, so you never know. But I feel like dune buggies are a good transition out of motorcycles. You still have the wind in your hair. You still smell like the road, as my wife says. I would come home from motorcycle rides, and she'd say, "You smell like the road," which, you know, is basically you smell like exhaust fumes because they're just sticking to you as you ride in the open air, right? Which is the point of riding a motorcycle. So anyway, I had a great time in Auburn. I got to walk around a little bit. If you ever get a chance to just explore Auburn, it's actually a great little town. There was a lot of tourists there. It's very hilly, you know, and I'm from Stockton, which is completely flat. So it was fun to see, fun to just kind of walk up and down the hills and just kind of check out Old Town Auburn. It's got a lot of history there. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed seeing Ron's build, and I hope to see Ron and his wife at the, I had to break up a dogfight, Carson City event and at the Big Bear event. It'll be interesting to see if he's done by then. He's really close. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.